What you know about retro ghetto? Collecting and playing retro. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. It's finally episode 3 of building my dream man cave, and I've got some breaking news. I'm a collector. Ask Mrs. Retro Ghetto, she'll tell you that I'm a hoarder. And one of my favourite things about the hobby of collecting is arranging my stuff. I want to have all my stuff in one place. It soothes my soul, right? To get everything exactly how I want it in a room. To be able to just sit back, survey all my wares. As sad as it sounds, that's one of my pleasures in life. I haven't been able to do that for about, 18 months now. I've had pretty much just my games in this room. I've got all my stuff in storage, in lofts, relatives' houses, all spread out all over the place. And to be honest, it feels like my soul has been pulled into different places. Finally, we're on track, guys, to get everything back into one room. The last, 12 to 18 months of purchases, all the things that you've seen on my pickups videos, all the things that you've been out on hunts with me and seen me buy. There's always been that bit in the back of my mind which I just thought, can't wait to get that in the Retro Ghetto 3.0. Can't wait to display that in the 3.0. You guys are probably sick of hearing about the 3.0. The wait is finally over. Just before I get into all the footage and the daily vlogs that I've been doing, I just want to say I've put in the description below both episode 1, episode 2, and also the episode I did where I covered my video game rooms, past, present and future. Only other thing I want to say before we get into it is that I'm going to try my best, guys, to give you 2 videos a week. I'm going to try and have my mainline Retro Ghetto episodes running on a Wednesday as usual, and hopefully have like a concurrent series with the Building My Perfect Games Room on a Sunday morning. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. Make sure you hit that notification bell, all that thing YouTubers say, so you don't miss out, because there might be a little bit of disruption to the regular schedule going forwards with me trying to get 2 episodes out. If I can't get 2 episodes out, it might just sort of alternate each week, but I'm going to do my best to get as much content out because I've got loads of videos planned for the Retro Ghetto. Got a huge collection here piling up for my next pickups video. Don't miss out on that. And obviously I've got loads to cover in terms of making this Retro Ghetto 3.0. Right, we've all waited long enough. Let's get into it. Right guys, so I've pretty much cleared out the garage at this point, just a few odds and sods left. As you can see now, you get a bit more of an idea of the space that we've got to work with. I tore a bit more plasterboard off the walls just to see what was behind it. There's obviously this structural supporting piece here. What I'm hoping we can do is get all the insulation in up until that point. This is only like a brick's width or so, maybe 2 bricks. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to run the room at that length so we don't lose too much width, because it's a relatively narrow room and I don't want to lose too much width, so I don't really want to be coming out any more than where it's protruding now. The other thing to bear in mind is that it's going to be approximately another 5 foot added to the length of the room. That way the window will be considerably smaller, and I've got a huge sort of 8-seater sofa that I'm planning to get on in here. Once the extension is done that way, the sofa, the 8-seater sofa, will end approximately where this mark is. So if I come and stand here, you can see just how much room we're still going to have to play with. It's going to be considerably the biggest room I've had. It's bigger than the Retro Ghetto 2.0, so yeah, all of that plus this is going to run an extra 5 foot up there as well. Once we remove these beams or amend these beams, and that should be a bit more hospitable, so to speak, up there as well for storage. And at the moment, that door's obviously going to be boarded up. There's going to be a door put in that corner. And at the moment, I'm thinking about potentially taking this part of the ceiling out altogether. So I've got a really large wall that I can maybe turn into like a video game wall, and have the whole wall full of video games, and maybe even get like a ladder that runs across, like an old school library or something. But obviously that's for another day. I'm getting ahead of myself. The other door will be in the bottom corner that way, which obviously isn't built yet, but down there, which will then allow me access to the private gym area that we looked at last time I did an update. So yeah, it doesn't look like much, but we're finally getting there, and I'm very happy that building's going to start very, very soon.
Retro Ghetto.
Right, so it's the end of day 1 with the builders, and I can't believe how much has happened. This here is a cover because there was a door there, which has obviously been removed, so I've just left the cover there. And then, it's not a bad view, is it? It's the whole wall has been taken out. So obviously that you can see how far it's going to get extended. I'll spin the camera around for you. So yeah, it's going to be all that to the boundary. Remove the fence. I don't know, probably all in 5 foot maybe. But yeah, I'm quite pleasantly surprised with how much they've got done in one day. So this will be blocked up. I've got to get the electric box moved, as I say. I'm just so happy it's happening. So let me have a look what's going on with the roof up there. You're seeing this as I am. Yeah, so you see the whole side has been taken off. Quick update, I spoke with the gaffer this morning, and he was explaining that obviously there's going to be a lot of work done to the floor, and obviously it's going to be a lot of insulation done, and what we don't want to do is lose any more head height. I mean, I'm 6'1". I mean, there's not loads of room anyway. It's not sort of the same height as the house. So what we're thinking is, originally I was just going to take this piece out. I'm thinking about maybe taking all the loft out, all the eaves, which will just give me a bigger, more open space. And there is benefits to keeping these, obviously, because of storage, but I am coming round to the idea of getting rid of all of it, just so I've got more height, just a bigger, more open space, to be honest, which is what I wanted, especially with the amount of stuff I've got. I don't want it to feel too claustrophobic. But yeah, the door's out as well here, as you can see. So yeah, got a door out, a wall out, another door out. I mean, what time is it? It's about 3 o'clock. Builders don't work a full day, right? But yeah, happy with the progress. That's day one. And I just want to say, like, you guys have kind of been on this journey with me. It's been a year. It's took a year to get to this point, more than a year actually, of planning and speaking to different builders. So it's like I'm a little bit nervous, apprehensive to make sure everything goes right, but yeah, I'm very happy that it's finally happening and you can really see it taking shape. I'm hoping within, realistically, maybe 3 weeks for the build. That's what I was told. And then you're sort of obviously looking at plumbing, plastering. And then once the walls are plastered, you have to wait like 2 weeks before you can fully paint that. So maybe 5-6 weeks before I'm in properly. And my dreams achieved of like having everything. I think I spoke before about basically having everything painted, having it all white, having a fresh, clean room, a big blank canvas basically to put all my stuff in that's been in storage for like a year. All the stuff that you see me picking up and buying on my videos, and yeah, I can't wait to have it, like I say, just to that point where it's glossed, it's painted, the carpet's in. I can start arranging all my stuff. I've got so many ideas and plans, and obviously I'm going to share this journey with you guys. But thanks for your patience. As I say, I didn't expect episode 3 to take this long. It's only day 1, you're going to see a lot more, don't worry. I'm just getting a bit philosophical in a bit.
Retro Ghetto.
Right, day 2. Another long shift by the builders, 9 till 2:30. I'm in the wrong game. Not a lot's been done actually today, which, to be fair, I understand because they had some issues with some equipment. Out some of the bricks, the toothing, ready to start the brickwork here and here. And they've taken out these back couple of fence panels because we're going right to the boundary, and replaced a couple that needed replacing anyway. So the ones that were there have gone in there, so it saves me having to buy a couple of fence panels. So that's brilliant. So yeah, that was all they've done really, is get everything ready for the bricks to be done. They were supposed to be cutting out the floor. So if you look at the floor, there was like some pre-existing cracks. Nobody seems to think this is going to be an issue, but better safe than sorry. So what the plan is to cut as close to the wall as possible. They're going to dig down, they're going to get all the insulation in, the screening and everything done, so that we've got the right amount of insulation and damp proofing measures. But the machine, the saw, circular saw is it, they had an issue with it, they needed to replace it, and they aren't local, so they're going to be coming back tomorrow to do that. So the floor should be getting dug up tomorrow. So yeah, it was a bit of an easy day for them. I think they had more cups of coffee than hours worked. I'm definitely in the wrong trade. But yeah, slow progress is better than no progress, and when I've been waiting a year, I'll take any progress, to be honest. And yeah, don't pay them by the day, I pay them for the job, so it's all good in the hood. Another day done. Let's see what tomorrow brings. That's day 3 of the build, and if I just take a step back here, they have cut out where my door's going to be. So I wanted the door as close to the sort of house and the conservatory as possible, because I'm going to try and join this up at a date in the future. But yeah, so this is where the main entrance is going to be. I've taken the electrical box off the wall, which is great. The builders managed to do it, saving me getting the electrician out earlier than planned. So yeah, they've knocked all of the doorway through. And the other thing they've done today is started to cut around, because as I've said, I think previously,
they're going to dig out the floor and put all the insulation and screening and everything down. So yeah, they've marked that. We're not done loads today. It's Friday. Builders Fridays, you know, half a day at best. But yeah, again, slow progress is better than no progress, right?
Retro Ghetto.
Okay guys, so it's day 4? Yeah, back Monday morning. They were here after the weekend break, and what we've done is dig a big ass hole. I don't know if the depth perception's really coming through on camera, but I didn't know they had to dig so deep. No wonder they needed this big piece of kit here. Yeah, this huge hole's been dug today, obviously for the foundations of the extension piece, which is getting added. And then after they've done that, they're then going to dig out this floor. You can see where they've cut around the edge to eliminate the cracks and things in this floor, also to put insulation in and screening. Guys, again, what I would say is, if I'm repeating myself, apologies, but I'm just sort of detailing each day, so I've kind of forgot what I've spoken about on each little daily vlog I've been doing. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to show really for day 4. One big ass hole.
Hi guys, I don't know how well you can see me because it's that bright, I can't see the screen. Hopefully you can see me better than I can see you right now. Just a quick update really. I've been getting my pen and paper out and trying to plan roughly where I'm going to put all my stuff now. I've got a bit of an idea about the room. You never really know until you're in the room itself, because you get obviously a better feel for it once you've got these things in. But I think I've got a rough idea of where the bigger things are going: sofa, TV, the bigger units, the kiosks and things like that, the life-size figures that I've got. You know, I've got to get in my head that this is my space now, so you know, anything that doesn't fit I'm probably going to have to get rid of, but hopefully I'll get all the main things in without it being too claustrophobic. So I've got a rough plan. As a result, I've ended up moving one of the doors. My original plan was to have both doors as much in the corner as possible, but the one that leads to the gym area, I've decided to move it a foot or so, just so I've gone to the corner to play with. Corner space is obviously pivotal with rooms like this. Obviously I can put a kiosk or an arcade machine. It's very valuable space having a corner. So yeah, I've moved that door along to free up a corner. And yeah, it's just about obviously working with the builders and keep learning as you're going along really. Things do change as you're going through it. So that's one of what I'm sure will be many changes throughout the build. But yeah, it's a sunny day. I'm just out here doing what I keep doing. I keep coming outside to work out and then just keep staring at the build and trying to envisage what I'm going to do rather than actually working out. So over the next few weeks, if the physique starts to shrink, you know, it's because I'm just in here staring at a load of bricks. So all right guys, I'm waffling in a bit.
Retro Ghetto.
Day 5, what we got? A bigger hole. This hole's about 1 meter deep now, and he said it still might not be enough. We've got the either the building inspector or a surveyor coming around just to make sure. It's because this, I think he said this is hawthorn. I think that's what he said. Apparently it's a very thirsty plant, so they have to dig very far down, because apparently when it rains, a lot of the moisture gets sucked up by this sort of bramble. That can then affect how things sit, so how the footings and everything will sit in here. Could later on cause some problems. So thankfully the guys are doing everything correct, so waiting to see if that is a big enough hole. We'll know soon enough, but they've got plenty to be cracking on with, because we've still got to dig up the existing floor in here. And if we just follow me around here, if I don't fall to my death, they've also started digging up where the slabs are going to go, because obviously with the main entrance being there, you don't want it to go straight into the grass, so we're going to be running a single row of slabs down the side as well. So yeah, not really too much to show you from day 4 to day 5. We're in a position where the skips keep getting filled. They're filling up a skip within literally 3 hours, and then they're sort of waiting for the next skip, which keeps coming each morning. So I mean, no wonder things are so expensive. We've used nearly £1,000 worth of skips in, well, 5 days. So yeah, you can see where the money goes, but we're progressing. That's the most important thing. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Right, time for an update on what are we, day 6. So the further dug all this area out, which as I say is going to be a slab area, this is going to be the main entrance. So you know, you don't want it going straight to sort of the grass, if you like. So yeah, this will all be slabbed right across. The hole here has been made bigger. I think we're going down to 1.2 meters. It's also come out a bit more. He's got the measurements now for the steel cage, which is going to go into that as a supporting structure. what we've also done is dug out what I think they call, is it a wash away?
Yeah, it's a soak away, mate.
Waste away?
A soak away.
And the reason that we've done that is because I'm going to be replacing all of the fascia and guttering. It's all crap and mouldy, look. I want it all doing properly. So yeah, that's what they call a soak away, sorry, that's it. Yeah, so that's being dug in preparation for that all being replaced. I'm going to attempt to get around here. If I break my neck live on camera, it'll be good for views.
My neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh, I want 150,000.
Oh. I've made it. Right, so there's been some changes. So it turns out, what I found out is that this concrete slab it's all sitting on at the moment is a lot bigger than they initially thought. It's approximately 10 inches thick. What that means is it's not going to be feasible and not even necessary to remove this existing floor. What they're going to do is build up using timber frame and then put your this stuff, which is basically what's the word I'm looking for, like an insulation. I'm going to lose approximately 5 centimeters. It's not too big of a deal because I'm getting rid of the roofing space now anyway. I'm getting rid of all of this, so head height's not going to be an issue anymore. So we are going to lose 5 centimeters in terms of height, but as I say, with me getting rid of this huge section of loft area, it's not going to be an issue, and the builders have assured me that's the best thing to do, so I'm going to go along with what they say, show some trust. So yeah, that's it, day 6. I think we're at a point now where everything's out, so to speak. All the ground's been dug, all the bricks that are no longer needed have gone. I've got a load of ballast and bricks and cement outside my house, so I think we're at a point now where everything that needs to be removed has been removed, and it's now time to start adding. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Right guys, so this is a combined day 6 and 7 I believe, so it's going to take us nicely to the first week of building works. As you can see, they've started to refill the foundations with, I think it's called ballast. They're also going to have some steel works is going to go over the top of that. This has been compressed down. There was a bit of a spanner in the works, something I was quite worried about. I haven't mentioned it, but they were talking about potentially having to cut this hedge. I did not want to have to cut the farmer's hedge. I didn't want to have to go and have that conversation with the farmer, and I didn't want to lose the security, if you like, as well, from the field to my house, because that's very thick bramble and thorns and everything like that. I just did not want to have to cut that out. So thankfully they found a resolution, because originally I think either the surveyor or somebody had mentioned that needs taken out, but they've managed to come to a solution, which is brilliant news. Very happy about that. So yeah, they've partially filled that. Moving our way across. You can see they've done a bit more here as well, which, as I've said, they're just laying a bit of foundation here for what's going to be slabs, which obviously is going to run right the way across the 3.0. They started also to fill back up this, which is the, I always forget what this is called, basically the wash away area, because they're going to build something which, this is basically where the water's going to go, because all the guttering and fascias are going to be replaced. And finally, I've got some bricks. So what was the entrance has now been bricked up. Obviously I'm going to paint once it's all finished. But yeah, finally we've had some brickwork done. All of this fascias and fittings are going to be replaced, as I say. So yeah, it's nice to see some brickwork taking place, and that takes us nicely into the weekend as well. So yeah, the next update you guys will get from me will be the second week, and hopefully we'll really start building that structure. That's taken us nicely to 7 days worth of work. I say 7 days worth of work. It's not very often they do a full day, but hey, as I've already said, that's builders for you. So this is the obviously reverse side of the doorway that's been bricked up. You can see they've left these in because this will have another supporting piece in here, and obviously that will all be tied in there, as there is on this one. They've replaced the odd brick. That will obviously all be joined up with some timbers. Sorry, metal frames actually. I think steels are being put in at the top there. But what I wanted to do, just to close really, is give you guys a sort of rough idea of what, as to what I've got in terms of what I'm going to do with the space. So I'm thinking, with the entrance being there, closest possible point to the house currently, and it makes it very easy to join it to the house, which will be the next mission once this is done. I'm thinking this will be the TV wall, leaving most of that as storage above the television wall, so I don't really have to worry too much about height. I will be raising this slightly as well, especially with the floor being raised. So I'm thinking at the moment, TV wall, all modern consoles there, the big 32-inch CRT TV, the Bang & Olufsen, will hopefully go in that corner. At the moment, I'm thinking about just using the two-seater black leather that I've got. I do have a big, potentially up to 7-seater sofa, but I just think it's going to be too big for the room. I might play around with it, but we'll see near the time. At the moment, I'm thinking the two-seater black leather recliner that I've got here. So that will sort of separate the room, if you like. So I've got all the modern gaming systems here with my sofa. I might try and get my life-size Master Chief figure in here if I can as well. Then I'm thinking I'm going to run the shelving units across, like the tall ones, so think akin to the IKEA ones that everyone seems to have. I don't necessarily want to use those IKEA ones because I think there's quite a lot of wasted width, and I'm trying to keep as much width as I can with the room being quite narrow. But I'm probably going to run at least 2 or 3 units along this wall, and then I'm thinking about bringing one out as like a pillar, so almost like what you'd have in a library. So one of them will come vertically, so again it will separate the room, but it just gives me more shelf space to play with, so that's the plan right now. This bottom section will then house things like kiosks, arcade machines, toys, etc, etc. So a bit more of the stand-up arcade area will be on this side, and there'll also be that corner free now, and then the door will be roughly there. This side of the wall, what I'm thinking is running the sort of waist height shelving units, and then above that I'll have a lot of wall space for some of my favourite standees. And then potentially we're going to see a return of the SNES wall, the Super Nintendo wall. Obviously it's my pride and joy, my collection, and I'm thinking about having it again with all the artwork on display, if I can. If I've got the space, I'm thinking about having all my SNES games situated here with all that amazing artwork on display. So that's a very loose plan. Obviously I've got a hell of a lot more stuff than what I've just detailed, but that's a very loose plan as to where I'm at right now. Obviously you don't really know until you get in the room and you start moving things around for yourself. But yeah, it's about maximising the space. As I say, it's going to be relatively narrow once it's all said and done. It's actually still going to be wider than the Retro Ghetto 2.0. It's quite deceiving at the moment, so it's going to be significantly bigger and longer than the 2.0 was, and I managed to get a lot of stuff in that room. So yeah, very excited to get on with it, and thanks again guys for being on this journey with me. Thanks again for your patience and waiting for episode 3. You know, we're cooking on gas now, and hopefully on the next episode we're going to see a lot more building being done, and we're going to really start to see it take shape. Thanks again. Peace.
Retro Ghetto.
Right, so there you have it. The first, what, 7-8 days? I kind of lost track, I think, somewhere along the way. I think it was 8 days worth of work. As I pointed out, builders don't do full days. But what I would want to say is I've got absolute faith in the builders. I'm very happy that I've got the right builders. It was definitely worth waiting for. I've got the utmost confidence in them. I've done all the due diligence checks. I've been through all their history. I've checked their work. I've spoken to people that they've previously worked for. They're going above and beyond. We've got building inspectors come in. We're doing building regulations, even though it's not imperative with what is basically a garage extension. So yeah, I'm very, very confident. Whilst I'm sure there's many, many YouTube experts out there, there's probably a few things that I haven't covered or haven't relayed properly because I'm no builder myself, as you've probably heard from the commentary. But guys, I'm so happy that it's finally happening. You know how long we've been waiting for this. Like, what, 18 months? But in reality, even before that, as soon as I had visions of moving into what is hopefully our forever home, I was already thinking about building the perfect room. And yeah, it's definitely larger than it comes across on camera. It's definitely larger than it comes across on camera. It's definitely larger than it comes across on camera. When I was putting the footage together, I thought it looked a lot smaller, but there's a lot of room to play with. The room is very long, and I think that makes it look a little bit more narrow than it actually is because of how long the room is. For the next episode, I'll give you guys the actual dimensions, but there's so much room to play with. And yeah, I'm just so excited that it's happening. As I said in the footage, everything's out. So all the skips have been filled, all the stuff that I no longer need, all the earth, all the bricks is gone. And I think next week it's going to really start to take shape. We're really going to see the building come together. And then we can start looking at interiors and all the exciting stuff of getting my collection put into that one room. I've said it a couple of times in all that footage, but thank you all so much for your patience. I started this out thinking it was going to be like, you know, episode 1, episode 2, a month later, episode 3. It's taken, what, almost 18 months. But maybe that was for the best, right? Everything happens for a reason. We're on the way. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. As I say, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell because right now it's very relevant. I don't know exactly where the schedule's going to be, but I hope you guys can join me for the journey. Thanks again. I'll see you soon. Take care. Play your games. Keep it retro. In a bit.
Retro Ghetto.